Hi, friends. Welcome back. Now, let's get into real time problems and try to solve them. A simple example we can take in real time scenario is to design an elevator controller that is meant for a building having four floors, G plus 3. Okay, how does a elevator functions? So, we have to start with a functioning of elevator. Only when everything is clear we can proceed with the design. Elevator is a system which takes us from one floor to other floor. We don't have to just climb the stairs or climb up the stairs or climb down the stairs. You can just get into a cabin called elevator, and it just vertically moves up and down and stops at the required floors, opens the door, and so on. So how does it whole starts with? So let's assume we are in and we entered into a four-story building. We are in some floor. We want to make use of the elevator because we want to change our floor position. So what is required? We need to initiate the action so that the elevator cabin should first come to the floor where you are. So for that, the whole process will begin from you pressing a button which is outside the elevator, which we call floor switches. So there are two types of switches. One which you press when you want to move up, one you press when you want to move down. That means if say you are in somewhere in between middle floors, and if you are interested in going down, then just press down button. Then what happens is whenever elevator is going down and passing through that floor, only then it will stop and open the door, allow you to get in, and then continue the journey. It means you want to go up, and if the elevator is coming down, then it should not stop, because it's not going to serve the purpose, because it's going down means it is taking some other people down, and till that work is done you will not be served, or otherwise you will go a few steps down and then again come up to your required floor, so it's a wastage. So what this is done is, so wherever you are, just decide where you want to go, up or down, then accordingly up button or down button you press, and when the elevator is moving in that direction, comes to your floor, it will stop, open the door, allow you in, and will close the door, and then will ask you where you want to go. So to tell where you want to go, there are switches which is inside the cabin, which we call in car switches, and there are four switches: one for ground floor, one floor first floor, one floor second floor, one for third floor. So for our simplification, ground floor let us call 0, first floor 1, 2, 3, that way. Done. Then when you are trying to move, or when there is some problem with the doors, like after pro- uh, a fixed delay, the door will close automatically, but still the people have not moved in, then we want to forcibly open the door. So there is one switch inside the car which recommends the system to open door for one more period, or if the work is done and you don't want to wait for that whole period, then you can use another switch called closed door. Then sometime you may have to stop the elevator by moving, So you need a switch, start or stop. So this is something toggle operation. If it is running, if you press this, it will stop moving, or if it is halted and if you press this, it continues moving. There is a fan inside the cabin, so there is a toggle switch here again. Press once, fan gets on, press again, fan gets off. So depends on what you want. You select whether fan should be in on mode or off mode. Same way, there is light inside. Automatically, you want to change the position, then there is a switch for that. Press once, light is on, press again, light is off. So it's again toggle operation. So in all, in car switches, four for selecting which floor to go, one for opening door, one for closing door, one for start or stop, one for fan, one for light, and so on. When it comes to floor doors, floor switches, when you are in ground floor, then there is only option for you is go up. There is no chance of going down. Therefore, there will be only up switch required. That means if you want to use the service of the elevator when you are in ground floor, it only means that you have to go first floor, second floor, or third floor. That means you have to go up only. There is no chance of going down because you are already at the lowest position. Therefore, you need to just tell up. But when you are in first floor, there are two options. When you are in first floor, you can go down to ground floor, or you can go up to second floor or third floor. So where you want to go, select accordingly. Same way, second floor, you can go to third floor, that is up, or you can go to down floor, that is first floor or ground floor. So two options are open. But when it is third floor, there is nothing above third floor. Therefore, if you want to use the elevator from third floor, the only option is you have to go down. So there is only one down button sufficient. Now, why we are saying is instead of having up down button everywhere, if you avoid where is not required, then what is happening is one, two, three, four, five, 6 buttons are sufficient instead of 8. Okay, done. Then we need sensors. So every floor, whenever the cabin is crossing the floor, it should sense. So is it at ground floor? Is it at first floor? Is it at second floor? Is it at third floor? So it should give appropriate information to our controller that where exactly the cabin is it on first floor or second floor or third floor or so on. And there are sensors which verify whether door is open or closed. If the door is closed, only then the elevator should be allowed to move. The elevator should not move unless door is closed. Therefore, at each door on each floor, there should be one sensor which confirms that the elevator can move because the doors are all the four doors are closed. Only then elevator should move. Otherwise, it may be hazardous. Done. Then some inputs required. It talks about whether the motor is on or off, and the input where the current position of the elevator is. Then we need to create outputs. So we need to tell to the motor move the elevator upwards or move the elevator downwards. So we have a bidirectional motor which rotates in both the direction depending on the requirement. If you want to move up, it rotates in one direction. If you want to move down, the elevator it rotates in the other direction. One more thing, motor should be on or off. So if you need to move, then keep the motor on. You don't want to move, keep the motor off. Then you have to tell the door of the elevator to open or close. So that has to be told. So whenever the elevator reaches the required floor, stops there, then this output should be generated and say open the door. So one of the correct door should be allowed to open. then wait for some delay, and then say close the door. So this door outputs, open the door, close the door, are the two outputs, which in turn control the motors which move the doors in and out. So that's other thing. Okay, schematically, if you want to see, we have a ground floor, we have first floor, we have second floor, we have third floor. And how the elevator system is, there is a motor on the top, and there is a pulley arrangement, and one side of the pulley, the elevator cabin is connected, and on the other side of the pulley, counter load is connected, which is almost equal to the load of the cell. And when you want to make this move up and down, rotate the motor clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on how do you want to move. So if this moves in clockwise, then elevator moves up. If this is moved in counterclockwise, the elevator moves down. And we have some sensors here which tell so whether it has come the appropriate floor or not. So what is done? We are in ground floor. Our cell elevator is in ground floor, and somebody from third floor wanted to use it. So the floor button of third floor, there's only one option from third floor is you go down. So press that down button here. Then first action should be the elevator wherever it is. It should check should it go up or down. So where is it? It is on zero floor, where it should be made to go third floor. So should it go up or down? Definitely it should go up. Up means make sure to rotate the motor such that the elevator moves up. So from ground floor it comes to first floor. Then sensor is checked. It says now it is in first floor. Where you want? Third floor. No, continue. Now it is in second floor. Where do you want? Third floor. No, not yet reached. So continue. Now it has come to third floor. Where you want? Third floor. It is on third floor. Then stop the motor. The motor stops. That means elevator stops here. Then say open the door. The door opens. Allow the people inside. So keep the door open for some limited finite period, and then close the door. Once the door is closed, just wait the person who entered from third floor to press the in car keys where he want to go. So he wants to go to first floor, then he will press 1. Where the cabin is now, third floor, where it should be, first floor. So should it go down or up? It should go down. Then motor output is given and made to rotate the motor such that the elevator moves downwards. Now it is in 3, comes down, goes to 2, where you want, first floor. Where is it? Second floor. That means still above it. So go down. So continue downward movement. When it comes to first floor, it informs the sensor says now the cabin is in first floor. Where do you want? First floor. Okay, stop it. Then open the door, allow that man to move out, and then close the door. Then wait for switches. Again, somebody requesting. Now, what has happened? Somebody requested from third floor, came down to first floor, and that fellow comes out. And if nobody is interested currently, then just the door is closed. It will remain in first floor till somebody wants its service. So if someone again wants service from ground floor, then it checks where it is, first floor, so comes down to ground floor, open door, allow persons to enter, close the door, ask for where to go, and move accordingly. Stop there, open door, close door, and this process continues round the round and round and round. So that's the story behind this elevator controller, what elevator is supposed to do. Now, what elevator controller is supposed to do is a big issue. Why? I have to first write a state diagram. So, to write state diagram, what all things are possible? First thing is I should know what how many states are there for my machine. So, my machine may be running, not running, moving up, moving down. I don't know. We have to look at it. Then, say if there are four possible states for your machine, say one for each floor, let us assume. Four state means to represent four states, you need two bits for that. So, two flip flops are required. Done. Then, from each of the states, how many outward arrows should be made available? Yes. How many possibilities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 are the inputs coming from switches. 16, 17, 18, 19 plus 4, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So this, no, this is not there. So somewhere 25. Now just think of 2 to the power 25. So from every state, we need to be writing something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in all, 2 to the power 25. Because we have 25 inputs, so 2 to the power 25 or 23 inputs and 2 states. So for totally 2 to the power 25, we need to put that. Is it possible to write this way? Definitely it is impossible, as we did for a two input case. For two input case, there were only four options for from each state, so we could do it. But if there are 25 inputs, then definitely it is impossible to write in that language. We cannot say from every state there are 2 to the power 25 paths emerging out, and for each combination something should happen. So this ruled out, not possible. Any ray of hopes? Yes, of course. When you look at these inputs, all combination of inputs are not required. When you are working in car, then only these are useful. And when you are working with floor switches, only these are useful. So what is it is your actions depend only on few of these inputs at any given time, not all inputs simultaneously. Now coming to fan, does it make any sense in which floor you are? Does it make any sense in which floor you are to turn on the fan or turn off the fan? I don't think so. So is it necessary that this fan should be connected to the whole state diagram? I don't think. We can just have one toggle flip flop for this, and this input you give it to toggle flip flop. Whenever this switch is pressed, the output toggles, and that toggle will control the fan. So once you press, fan is on, and once you press, fan becomes off. Same thing you can do with this light also. Then why should I consider this as two inputs to my this thing? Same way, start stop button, it can be another toggle. These two can be another toggle. So depending on what you want. So this can be a toggle. When press once, the whole system is on. Press again, system becomes off. Press once, fan is on. Press once, fan is off. Press once, light is on. Press again, light is off. So that way, some inputs may not play a role in your state diagram at all. They are independent of state diagram. So where you are doesn't make any sense. But what makes sense is, so where you want to go and where you are. Yes, they make some sense. So these four in-car floor switches are useful, and these six switches are required, and the result of these sensors are always required, and result of this, whether door is closed or not, is always required at all four places, and whether motor is on or off is required, the current position is required. So that way it makes the life simpler. That's another thing. So we need to look at in a different way. So see what all things can be avoided, just remove that from the our state diagram. Second thing, when you are worried about this switch, when you are worried about this switch, does it make any sense of this switch? I don't think so. When you are allowing somebody, when you allowed somebody to enter the car or the cabin, so you now you have to look at where he wants to go, he or she wants to go. So worry only about this. Why do you worry about these switches currently? Don't worry about these switches. So that means only four are to be taken care of, not all six plus four. So that way, if you just try looking at, then definitely things become simpler. And instead of writing all combinations, one more thing we can do is, from any given state, from any given state, which switch is going to be useful, only talk of that switch. Why do you talk? If there are 10 inputs possible, then instead of talking about all 1024 combinations, why do you talk about all that? You just say, from here this will lead you to this state. If you use, if this input is available, this is what happening. If this input is available, this is what is happening. So that's a simple thing, we need to look at it. And therefore we need to change the way we try to propose our problem. So writing the state diagram itself need a dramatic change. Only then this big problem we could put it on paper, so that it can be easily understood. It can be, it is possible to write it. It is possible to verify, and any problems it is possible to correct it if it is on one sheet. So if you can put all the problems on one sheet as a state diagram, and definitely verifying and testing everything becomes simpler. So for that, major breakthrough is required in writing the state diagram. So that's what we called a variable entered mapping version, where whichever variable is going to make the changes to your system, only write this variable name on this transitions, instead of writing these combinations as we did earlier, 0001, like this. So instead of writing 10, I could say only x1. Instead of saying 10, I could say only x1. So if only x1 is there, do this. And this says x2. So I can write x1 here, x2 here, and x1 here. So that solves a lot of problems. Instead of writing two bits, you could write only one bit. Then when both are 1, what to do? A and B, x1 and x2. When both are 0, what do you write? A bar and B bar. So that way the things can be simplified. So let's see what exactly we need to do when we try to solve this bigger problem. So that's what is the issue we need to look in our next session. So don't miss it. So till then, take care. See you. Bye.